Welcome, everyone. Just wanted to let you know that we will be starting in 5 minutes, and we are live now. So please make yourself comfortable. So good, the live. Welcome everyone to the AI for Accessibility Hackathon. We are now at BDD and we are so happy that a lot of you joined us live. Thank you for the organizing team, for the judges, for the teams for joining us live. We have today a lot of people also joining us on Zoom, so you will be able also to tune in live and interact with the participants and the judges. I'll invite Dr. Youssef Asfour to the stage to start the AI for Accessibility Hackathon final ceremony and to give a small talk. The floor is yours, Doctor.
Thank you, Larissa, and I promise it won't be long. I just want to say good afternoon, everyone. According to the World Health Organization, 1 billion individuals, or 15% of the world population, have disabilities that exclude them from access to education and the workplace. Without actively seeking to provide them with access, we weaken their potential to connect and communicate effectively, and we limit their ability for independent living. Artificial intelligence offers huge potential to help people with vision, hearing, cognitive, and learning disabilities to lead a better life. The hackathon, the first of its kind in the region, was organized by the Talal and Madiha Zein AUB Innovation Park as part of AUB's Office of Innovation and Transformation ABLE initiative, in collaboration with AUB's Faculty of Arts and Sciences, the Maroon Sim'an Faculty of Engineering and Architecture, and the Beirut Digital District. Sponsored by Microsoft and the Meta Innovation Program, and powered by Zaka, IEEE Lebanon, and Beirut AI, this competition aims to raise awareness, rally talent, create global collaborations, and encourage the regional entrepreneurship community to focus their efforts on innovations related to applying artificial intelligence to increase social inclusiveness. Over the past month, more than 100 participants from 11 different countries formed 32 international teams to develop innovation solutions in the service of people with special needs. These teams attended 7 workshops, 45 mentoring sessions led by 14 dedicated experts from all over the world. The results were amazing. Today, we are here to showcase the work of the 13 finalists and to select 4 winners. Although this marks the end of the hackathon, I hope that we help create awareness and new friendships, collaborations, and ideas to keep the momentum going to truly enable people with special needs. By doing so, we would have truly lived up to AUB's values, to lead, to innovate, and to serve. Thank you, and good luck, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Asfour, the Chief Innovation and Transformation Officer at AUB. Without him, we couldn't make this event, so thank you for sponsoring this event and for supporting AI for accessibility in Lebanon and in the region. I'll invite now Ms. Maha Zwayhed, the Operation Manager at iPark. Please, the floor is yours. The event is hybrid, and some teams are joining us from Zoom, so make sure you're tuning in on YouTube and you're interacting live in the chat. So we will be monitoring the chat. Thank you. So again, welcome everyone. This event is very dear to me personally, and we take pride in it at AUB, and we are very, very grateful to all the partners and mentors and judges who gave us a hand to make this happen, and they really, really elevated the quality of this hackathon. So our original aim is to rally the talents, which is our, most available fortune in Lebanon, to rally talents and to, at the same time, empower our social abilities. The purpose of this hackathon is to come out with innovations to support disabilities and accessibility in one of two forms, either an assistive technology or a physical aid. These two solutions should empower people with disabilities to be included, which is their right in independent living, education, employment, and community inclusion. Well, it was pretty eventful. It was a month span of activities. The kickoff event was quite rich and of much, much value. Many people from many countries joined us and shared their experiences and innovations, and successful startups in the field also shared their experience. Later on, because of the high awareness that was triggered, we had 32 teams applying. These 32 teams are 100 participants from over 11 countries. And in fact, it was very, very impressive how team members found each other across borders. Then, after shortlisting the semi-finalist teams, we underwent capacity building workshops by leading mentors. I would like to thank Catherine Getchell from Carnegie Mellon University, Shadi Basyouni, Dr. Shadi Basyouni from AUB, Dr. Muna Aitani from AUB, Dr. Dana Al-Batlouni from AUB, Sujan Jang, an assistive technology specialist from Meta Innovation Center, Zahi Hilal, a startup consultant, and Amanda Hashem from Zaka. These are snapshots from the capacity building workshops where we had the participants, engaging and enjoying their time from 11 countries again. And then we had the last round of shortlisting carried by esteemed judges, Dr. Imad Al-Haj from AUB, Ralph Khairallah, Chief Growth Officer from BDD, Dr. Fatima Abu Salam from AUB, Christophe Zorbi from Beirut AI, and Jeremy Seda from North Idaho College. And lastly, we have these 13 finalists who bring to us solutions for disabilities related to vision, hearing, mobility, cognitive solutions. And lastly, in this hackathon, yesterday, we had 45 sessions of mentorships with these 14 mentors where they provided the participants with business-related know-how, technical-related, user experience, and assistive technology-related input. It was a very rich and inspiring experience, and I would like to quote one of the mentors when he said that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And in fact, he is very, very right. I'm becoming addicted to collaboration because of its high impact. So I am very happy all of these organizations participated in this event. Finally, I would like to welcome our judges today for the finals, Dr. Ashraf Osman from Meta Innovation Center in Qatar, Patrick Azan, CEO of Cybertech, Mr. Mohammed Rabah, General Manager of ZRE and CEO of Beirut Digital District, Ali Haraki, Education Marketing Manager at Microsoft for Startups Middle East. Muhammad Al-Bakr Nassar, Dr. Muhammad Al-Bakr Nassar, Assistant Professor at AUB from the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. These judges will kindly help us select the top solutions. In fact, shortlisting was very hard. The ideas and innovation we received were almost all good. So there would be a tough decision to be made. And 4 winners will be selected. Each winner will receive, each team will receive $2,500 prize. And then after the 4 winners are selected, the Faculty of Arts and Sciences will choose to award $10,000 to the team who decide to pursue the development of their product and become a startup. Finally, I would like to thank again all the hands that came together to make this happen. At AUB, the Faculty of Arts and Sciences and the Faculty of Engineering, and also our sponsors, Microsoft and Madiha Innovation Program. And of course, we all work to provide an accessible learning experience through ABLE. And also thank you for putting this together, Zaka and Beirut AI, Beirut Digital District, our eternal partner. Thank you so much for hosting us, for supporting us through it all, and for always being there for us. And of course, IEEE for helping us disseminate this initiative and competition. Thank you, and have fun.
Thank you, Ms. Maha, for briefing us on all the hackathon experience that happened hybrid. Now we will welcome the first team, Ismani. Jana Kabrit will be pitching from Zoom, and the team will be tuning in from Zoom. So please, just to keep note that we have 4 judges live, and we have 1 judge, Dr. Ashraf, is joining from Zoom. So please, Jana, you can share your screen and start. Judges, yes, Jana, you're good?
Yes, I'm sharing my screen now.
Okay, so as for the judges, make sure that you pick Ismani team for grading now. So you'll be able to check it on the dashboard. If you need any support, let us know.
Okay, great. Thank you for this opportunity. I will start now.
You have 4 minutes, Jana.
Welcome to Ismani. Did you know that 300,000 people depend on sign language as their main form of communication, and 466 million people around the world have disabled and hearing loss? More than 80% of them are unemployed, and more than 75% of them depend on lip reading to understand other people. This has been especially hard because of the mask mandates and COVID-19. This is a quote by someone with hearing disabilities. It says that I'm very isolated, and communication with those who don't know any sign language is near impossible. This is why my team and I came together to create Ismani to break communication barriers. Ismani is a software that can be used everywhere. It translates audio to sign language, as well as having an emergency feature, which is pre-translated commonly used phrases in emergencies and common situations. So for the prototype,
We are sorry, Jana. Jana, can you hear us?
yes.
Please, I had to interrupt you as we had a technical problem. Let us know if you can hear us in the chat. If you can start again your pitch once I can tell you.
Okay.
Thank you, Jana.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you well. Just wait. Yes, so Jana, just wait for 30 seconds so we can fix a technical problem live. As for the people joining live, please, you can ask questions on YouTube, and we're here to support. You can also give comments, and we are monitoring the YouTube chat.
So let me know what to share my screen then.
Yes, so Jana, you can start again now.
Okay. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, we can see it. Okay,
I started now.
wait a second. I'll confirm in a few. Okay, you're good. Your 4 minutes starts now.
Hello and welcome to Istifan. Did you know that 300,000 people depend on sign language as their main form of communication? And 466 million people around the world have disabling reading loss. More than 80% of them are unemployed and more than 75% of them depend on lip reading to understand other people, which has been especially hard because of the mask mandate and COVID-19. This is a quote by someone who uses sign language to communicate. She said that this can be very isolating, as it means communication with those who don't know any sign language is near impossible. This is why my team and I came together to create Asman, to break communication barriers. So Asman is a software that can be used everywhere. It translates sign language to text using a voice camera. It reads a translated text out loud for safety and social distancing. It translates text to sign language in Arabic and it translates audio to sign language. It also has an emergency feature, which is pre-translated fixes, which are commonly used during emergencies as well as common outbreaks. So for our prototype, we used a sequential neural model that had 91% accuracy. We transported it into TensorFlow Lite and we used Android Studio to make the app in which the screen recordings you can see on the left. This was downloaded on my colleague's phone and he's trying out the application. As you can see, it's giving out the letters translation right away. Okay. So for the products Ismani has, other than the mobile application, we have Ismani Include, which is a translation screen that can be installed everywhere. Other than the features that the mobile application has, which is live translation, we also have navigation of the surrounding area as well as common phrases used in that place. We also have the avatar extension, which is an avatar that pops up, a cartoon avatar, and translates the browser that it's used. This can be done by translating PDFs, which is text, or we can use the live captioning to translate videos like YouTube videos and Zoom meetings. So for our social value, we increase independency as well as employment opportunities for people with hearing disabilities, as well as facilitating inclusivity. So for our business model, we use business to customer and business to business ventures. For our market, we target individuals with hearing disabilities as well as their friends and families. We target governments and municipalities for operations and public spaces. We also target private companies for both their employees and their customers. So for our competitors, we have Unix and Turjuman, which are also applications, however, they only translate text to sign language. We have indirect competitors, which are interpreters, however, they're very scarce in the MENA region. So for our marketing strategy, we want to have a strong social media presence that showcases our quality and affordable price. We want to have connections with NGOs and local governments so that they can recommend us to people who need us as well as companies. We want to collaborate with NGOs to make marketing campaigns to let people know about us. So we will be infiltrating both the private and the public sector. So for our cost, we have the variable cost, which is product testing and collecting data sets, especially in Arabic phrases. We have the fixed cost, which is the human capital. For our revenue, we have subscriptions, especially for the avatar extension, and publishing reports with the consent of our users, as well as selling Ismani Include and advertising. So for our future plans, first of all, we want to make market research and get expert opinions about the beta version that we just made. So we want to then finish developing the Ismani app and then launch it into market. After that, we want to expand our clientele and develop our other products, which are Ismani Include and the avatar extension. So for our team, we have Abdulrahim Muhammad, the researcher, Zahra Abassoum, the marketing manager, Nabil Al-Miri, and I, Janet Kufiyet, the developer co-leads. So you can contact us throughout any of these means, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Jana, for your presentation. Now we will be taking questions from the judges. Dr. Osman, also, if you have questions, please let us know in the chat, and we will be giving you the floor. So anyone would like to start? Go ahead, Mr. Patrick.
Hello. Okay. Is there a way we can see the beta version that you created? A test of how it's being used?
Yes. So I'll share my screen again. The video that you saw in my presentation, which has the application, this was actually the demo. It was installed on my
Thank you, Jana. Mr. Patrick, would you like to follow up, or is this good? Okay, so thank you, Jana. We have another question from Dr. Ashraf from Zoom. Dr. Ashraf, you can unmute and ask your question.
Thank you, Jana. Just here, I have another question on the same slide. Regarding the prototype, could you advise on the size of the model that you used for training?
Yes. So we had a data set that had each letter and it had pictures of each letter sign. Each letter had a pattern photos. So that was our data set.
Is it enough for training?
It was enough to train this model for just the letters. However, if we want to include phrases and bigger things that includes both the letters and the words and gestures, we will need a bigger data set. This is why I included it in the cost, because it's not open source, the ones that we need to continue.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jana.
Thank you, Dr. Ashraf. Anyone else have any question? We can still take one. Yes, go ahead, Mr.
Also I want to ask about the data set. So you collected the data set, and the model that you used is a pre-trained model, or you just trained from scratch?
No, we trained it from scratch. We used a sequential neural network model. We have two hidden layers. Yes.
By,
We have 91% accuracy on the training.
by sequential, you mean an RNN?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the innovation here? Is there any other models around that you could use without reinventing the wheel?
The models that we can use are the ones that are by TensorFlow, which are shown just any object detection or hand detection, but there isn't one that's exactly for sign language.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jana and Team Ismani. I'll give 1 minute for the judges so they can have time to grade and we can continue. Meanwhile, Canary AI, you can get ready. We have live Masa Baali. Yes, get ready, you will be next. Yes, please go from the other side. And as for COVID restriction, the people that are pitching live, please keep the face mask while presenting. You should use this mic. This is which one? This mic. Okay. Here, you just. Okay. Try to go from side to side. Okay. It's working.
Let me check.
Yes. Zad, can you test?
I want to test the clicker,
Go from slide to slide.
but we want to test 1 second.
Oh, it's working. Okay. So Canary AI, the floor is yours. The judges, if you need more time, let us know. All good? Dr. Ashraf, if you need any support, you can chat with us on the chat. Okay, so Canary AI, the floor is yours. You can start.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Masa. I am a machine learning researcher in Canary AI. We provide dialectal speech technology. We are mainly specializing in dialectal Arabic, automatic speech recognition, and text-to-speech. So our tech enables various solutions. The first one is transcription, captioning, and subtitling, and voice assistant. There are 11 million people with hearing impairments. our product will help them participate in real-time conversations. The problems are that in Arabic speech recognition, there is a poor accuracy and there is a lack of customization. Canary AI solves them all. We are leading accuracy in Arabic speech recognition. We have over 4,000 hours of data provided by our partners, Al Jazeera. We are covering 19 dialects, and our accuracy is unmatched in a modern standard Arabic, over 88%. This is the demo. Can we please play it? So anyone can scan the QR code on your mobile. You will see the transcription and you will see the translation in real time.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. شكرا لدعوتي لحضور هذا المؤتمر. تم تطوير هذا البرنامج للتعامل مع اللغة العربية الفصحى، ولكن طورناه بشكل أفضل كي يتعامل مع اللهجات الشائعة مثل اللهجة الشامية واللهجة المصرية واللهجة الخليجية واللهجة المغربية. زي ما انتم شايفين اتكلم دلوقتي باللهجة المصرية.
So this is our demo. And we are running many pilots in all of those areas, in media, human resources, and education. We are expanding to other low resource languages. There are many speakers, Arabic speakers, over 400 billion. And there are a growing regional speech market. So this will allow us to integrate our solution faster. Our current clients are the United Nations and the Shura Council State of Qatar. Our team helped us bring this to reality. Our CEO, Rian, has over 15 years of experience in the field of digital marketing, and Giri has an experience in IT services, has a very big firm in Bangalore. Dr. Ahmed Ali is part-time in QCRI, and he's the founder of this technology. Myself and Amir, we are AUB graduates, and we are two main researchers working on developing this technology. Thank you for listening. Questions? Can you please unmute your?
Thank you so much, Canary AI, for the presentation. The team is on Zoom, so the team, you can also answer the question of the judges once they ask them. So feel free to raise your hand or to let us know that you want to talk. As for the judges, who would like to ask questions? Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Muhammad.
Hello, Masa. I might have missed something. Can you just re-explain to me what's the link to the QR code and how the translation from the Arabic to the English, which we show that detects the different dialect, which is a problem in Arabic, will help people with limited accessibility or some impairments?
Yes, for example, if we are in a conference, so some people with hearing impairments, they will not be able to hear very well. They can interact in real time. They can see the conversation in real time. When a person is like presenting something and they have challenges in hearing, they can check the application and they can see the translation in real time.
Mr. Ryan, you're on Zoom. You have a follow-up answer. You raise your hand. Go ahead.
Just to expand on that, so translation is just a small piece of our technology. It's really the Arabic speech, the Arabic text. And for this initiative, it's that piece. So being able to, on your mobile device without an app, it'll open up a web browser. You can see the live Arabic speech-to-text piece. We just put in the translation because we had it, and for some people, that's interesting as well. And that QR code in the presentation, if anyone actually in the audience scanned it, you
Thank you, Rayan, and thank you, Mr. Muhammad, for the question. We have another question from Mr. Ali Haraka. So,
Does it capture language in reverse from different languages to Arabic and translate it into different dialects?
No, for now, just from Arabic.
Hello. I was curious to know if, first I wanted to ask, why isn't Lebanon, the Lebanese dialect included? But what I noticed is that how does it get trained? How does it get improved? You know, sometimes you do mistakes. It translates badly. How is this going to be improved over time?
You mean the translation part or the recognition part?
The translation part. Detecting the dialect and translating it into text. Sometimes it can translate it badly. Is there a way to improve this?
Yes, sure.
Like, what's the mechanism behind it?
Building sequence-to-sequence neural networks in the translation part can improve this. And since we have very huge data sets in the translation and in the speech recognition, so this will make this very, very easy to overcome. Because like having a very big data set and feeding this data set to the neural network will solve this problem.
sorry, Rayan, you raised your hand. You can answer also.
So Masa did a great job explaining, but also speech recognition is an unsolved problem. We'll never be able to get to 100% accuracy. The human ear is not 100% accurate, but with many consumer applications of speech to text, WhatsApp, Google, if people go in and correct that speech to text, the model actually can be updated over time without having to invest in more data. What we've seen too is if we see an area, one dialect that is not performing, with 50 to 100 hours, we can push that accuracy up several points. So it's really depending on the use case and where it's failing.
Just to clarify myself a little bit more, if there are inaccuracies in the translation, how that the user have the possibility of saying that it has been badly translated, or is it done automatically? How is it updated? The process of improving the translation, is it user interaction or somebody has to say that this has been translated badly, right?
Yes, so it's both. Users, if they were to correct in-app, we would collect that data. The other piece is we're constantly training the model. So we have a transcription partner who's providing back to us fully annotated, 100% correct speech to text and Arabic to English translation. As we grow, we become more accurate. But in many cases, it has to be use case specific. We'll never be the Google of all speech. We'll run on specific domains.
Thank you. Thank you, judges, for the questions. Do you want a minute to grade, or is everything good? So, Ola, the next team, Ola, you can share your screen from Zoom. Thank you, Canary AI. Ola is from Vision Restored. You can go full screen and start, Ola.
We decided to develop Vision Restored, a mobile application that allows people who are blind to shop independently in grocery stores with the integration of AI. This initiative plays a great role in securing the independency of a blind person, where groceries count as one of the most frequent purchases. Shop at a grocery store, people who are blind need to either ask for help from a sighted person or use a gadget to navigate around and get their desired items. Sighted person can be a family member, a friend, or an employee, leaving the person who's blind restricted to their schedule. Or they can be a complete stranger, where the person who's blind contacts them virtually through mobile applications like Iva, but this can be expensive since they charge by the hour. The other option is to get gadgets that are still being improved
features our app offers are the ability to log in groceries orally through speech recognition, navigate indoors through image processing and computer vision, scan products and read out labels through image processing and text-to-speech. After logging in the groceries and at the arrival of the user to the store, the user will open the app and the camera will be automatically activated to scan the surroundings. As the user walks through the store, the real-time signals received from the mobile device will be analyzed in a trained network model developed with fingerprinting-based artificial neural networks. Thus, the user's location will be determined and they will be redirected to the item's location accordingly. Once the user is done shopping, they can exit navigation and rate their shopping experience. As for the market opportunity, our total addressable market is the MENA market region. Our served available market is the Gulf area, since they have a stable economy and are interested in new technologies. Our target market are our subscribers that include people who are blind and striving for independence, and supermarkets willing to make their stores accessible for all. Our revenue streams are user subscriptions that are $20 per year or $2 per month, supermarkets yearly subscriptions that are $200 per year, and crowdfunding campaigns and grants. Our application is the only solution within the Gulf region that allows people who are blind to independently shop at grocery stores, and in contrary to traditional methods being currently used in indoor positioning, it's inexpensive, accurate, precise, and capable of meeting the growing needs and expectations of location-based service users. Our team members are Neil Abbas, who's going to be responsible for developing the application, myself, Talal Abbas, who's going to be building the AI model, and Leila Habdi, who's going to be responsible for marketing and advertisement of the application. Our first step is going to be deeper market research and market validation. Our next step is to develop the application and build and train the AI model. Afterwards, we're going to launch the application by the end of 2021, and we aim to update our features and introduce new on stage 1. We're going to be measuring our success through the users' feedback and new subscriptions, the number of shopping trips, and the number of subscribed supermarkets. This video shows an example of how our AI model is going to detect text from an image and read it out to the user. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ola and team, for your presentation. Ola, your team is on Zoom, so make sure you take the answers once the judges ask them. Judges, who would like to take?
Does it operate in the physical world, or is there an opportunity to have it work in virtual model as well, online?
Ola, could you hear the question? Sorry. Okay, we will repeat it.
Does it operate in the physical world only, or there is possibility to work online as well? The application itself, yeah. Would it be able to recognize products online?
Ola, if you could raise your voice because we can't really hear you clearly. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ali, for your question. Go ahead, Mr. Patrick.
I didn't see well, I didn't understand well the prototype. I didn't understand exactly the application, how it works. Did you have a working prototype for that?
No, only one.
Sorry, Ola, we can't hear you. Can you raise your voice, please?
Okay. It's still only a UI. It's not a working application yet. So what's going to be happening is that so the user will log in the grocery list, and then when you go to the store, they will open the application, it will open the what's coming, and then as the user walks through the grocery store, it will start scanning the surrounding. It can locate where the user is at the and
Sorry, sorry to interrupt. Your connection is not good. Can you repeat or let anyone else answer the question? Okay, try to repeat again, please.
Sorry for that. So I was saying that the user will log in the grocery list and he wants to buy. So when they arrive at the store, they will open the application to open the camera. And once that happens, it will start scanning the surroundings. So it will locate where the user is at the store, and it can redirect it to the specific lane or aisle where he can get his product from.
Okay, thank you, team, for your answer. Anyone has any question? We have Dr. Ashraf. Dr. Ashraf, you have a question?
Thank you for the presentation. Just I have one question. How we can navigate in a secure way and in accurate way to get an item from the grocery done? So, because here is the camera, so we can recognize easily using popularity, using indoor navigation system, but once one blind person wants to get an item in an accurate way, how can be feasible here?
When the user arrives to the lane or the aisle, we scan the item, and once the application can read out the label, product label, so the user can know that this is the product he's looking for or not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, judges, for your question. I'll leave a minute for you to grade the team. Meanwhile, we're waiting. Thank you, Vision Restored, for your presentation. We have next Shrali. We have Omar. You will be pitching live. Get ready. So judges, let us know if you need more time or all is good. We have 15 more seconds. Okay. So Team Ashrali, you have... Team Ashirli. I'm sorry. Team Ashirli, you have 4 minutes. That starts now.
Hi. So for this AI for Accessibility Hackathon, we decided to try and help deaf people all around the world, but particularly in the Arab community. So first we can ask the question, how do people who are deaf communicate with others? There are 2 options. Either both parties are trying to communicate no sign language. Unfortunately, this can sometimes be rare. The second option is to have a sign language translator present at all times with a deaf person. This can be done in person or virtually, but also sometimes a sign language translator is not available. So we can ask, what if there's no access to a sign language translator? I want to share with you the story of a girl named Sarah. She went to the doctor, but couldn't communicate her problem with him since he didn't understand sign language, and there wasn't a sign language translator available at that time, and she couldn't even read or write. So she had to reschedule her appointment and get a sign language translator with her the next time. So we can see that this situation is problematic. So we're proposing our application Ashirli that would hopefully be able to help people such as Sarah and deaf people to communicate with their communities. So our solution will be to translate Arabic sign language captured through video to text or speech. We will be doing that by using artificial intelligence, and we hope to provide our services for free so we can reach to the maximum amount of people possible. But we will also have premium features that are paid, such as multiple people on a call and no ads, to generate revenue and keep our application alive. So in the Eastern Mediterranean region, it is estimated that about 38 million people have bilateral hearing loss. This number is not small by any means. Our market share is $780 million per year, and if we can target 4% of these deaf people and get 10% to pay for a premium solution, we could generate $3 million per year. These numbers are all based on the assumption that we only make money from premium solution and that the premium solution costs $20 per year. This is a list of our competitors. There are already sign language translation applications on the market, but they are all mainly focused around the American Sign Language. We found one research paper talking about Arabic Sign Language translation, but there's no product on the market currently. So we can ask what makes us different. We hope to be the first application to translate Arabic Sign Language in the market, and we hope to integrate with applications such as Zoom, WebEx, and Microsoft Teams, since they are very widely used currently in our society. So I'll be briefly describing how our application works. First, we capture a video of a deaf person using sign language. There's a model that will be able to detect both hands. And then it will be passed to one of two models. The first model translates letters only. We already have that model available. The second model will be able to translate words, and then it will be passed to another model that will actually make up the sentences. And at the end, the user will have the option to rate the translation, so can feed back that data to the model to improve its accuracy. But we have a limitation for application. Currently, we only have letters datasets available in Arabic Sign Language. We hope to have words dataset in the future, and if we can acquire them, that would be a great competitive advantage to our application. This is our team. I'm Omar Bikdash. We have Rana Shamsbaja, Abdul Rahman, and Dr. Zein al-Miraj. This is a prototype of our UI with different menu options. We will have chat with a friend online, sign-to-text translation and sign-to-speak translation, and we also hope to support multiple Arabic dialects. This is a prototype of our implementation in integration in applications such as Zoom. We hope to help deaf people accessing them. And finally, this is a link if you'd like to check out our model that does the letter translation. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Ashirli. So the judges, the floor is yours. And Dr. Ashraf, if you have any question, please let us know. Yes, Mr. Muhammad, you can go ahead.
Just the prototype has not been developed yet. If we check the link, there is.
We have it. You can translate letters on the prototype.
Okay.
But currently, we don't have a demo of it.
But it's like on the website, you've already developing this.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Muhammad.
So why did you choose letters? Usually in a conversation, we don't use letters, right?
Yeah,
we use words.
But currently, we don't have access to a words dataset. We will have to contact some organizations that have them or come up with them ourselves.
So in terms of words, does Arabic Sign Language differ from the English Sign Language?
Yes, it differs from the English Sign Language, and even sometimes between countries, there's a difference between Lebanon, Kuwait, and...
Okay, but you don't have a data set
No.
currently. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Dr. Ashraf, you can ask your question. Sorry, Dr. Ashraf, just 1 minute, a small technical problem. Are you muted? No. Meanwhile, if any other judge has any question, you can also ask. So, Dr. Ashraf, can you try now?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
As we know, there is no Arabic Sign Language or unified Arabic Sign Language. Each region or each country has its own sign language, like Lebanese Sign Language, Qatari Sign Language, etc. So how can you deal with such kind of challenge in your machine translation?
We hope to be able to support all of them, but we're going to have to start one by one. Yeah.
And what is the approach to collect data in order to build your machine translation?
Either we're going to have to contact organizations that already have these data sets, or we're going to have to collect them ourselves.
To go back to the business model, you mentioned that anyone who will be paying the premium solution at $20 per year will be your revenue generating model. What will the premium solution offer to any user?
Yes.
And who will be buying this? And how did you get the 3 million from that?
Okay, so for the 3 million, There are 38 million people in the Arab world that have hearing problems. So we could be like selling this application to those 38 million. If we get 4% on our application and 10% of these 4% actually using it, if we do the calculation, we obtain that we could generate 3 million per year. The premium, we will be offering like video calls with multiple people at the same time. If you don't opt for the premium solution, you can only chat with one person. And we're also going to offer things like no ads, things like that.
Sorry, Zainab, you wanted to answer. You can jump and unmute and answer if you want.
Hello, everyone. So my response was in regards to Dr. Ashraf's question on how our approach was to the dialects. So dialects is an issue, whether it be in ASL and the difference in the European regions and stuff like that that vary from ASL. We have the same problem here in the Arabic region. So based on the data collected and the feedback given from the sign language translators in Arabic, and then validating the responses from our model, we hope that we can develop parallel tracks for different languages or different sign language translations to text, and ensure that even commonalities, and we can discover what signs are in common and how they evolve even in the future, because sign language is also changing.
Thank you, Ismaili team. I'll give a minute for the judge to grade. And And now we will have on Zoom team Kratu AI with Dr. Pichumani. If you can try to share your screen, please. And once we're ready, we'll tell you to start. Yes, we can hear you and we can see the screen. Please go into full screen mode. We will take also 30 more seconds so the judges would be able to grade. And please, for the team that are pitching live, if the team wants to answer and they are online, feel free to unmute and mention that you want to answer, so the team that is live would know that they shouldn't answer. Okay, so you can start. Kratu AI, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Here comes the Kratu AI, the most enabled mobile application to predict, practice, and prevent neuro disorder. What is neurodegenerative disorder? It is the progressive neurodegeneration which takes place to the death of neurons, which results in mental disorder, which leads to Alzheimer's dementia, the motor and non-motor disorder, which leads to Parkinson's disease. As far as the statistics, there are more than financial goals. We plan to generate funds from the government and non-governmental organizations. The subscription charge, free premium subscription charge, so to make the people to use the limited features and to enhance the doctors in the community to make use of our app purchase. Thereby, we plan to increase the revenue to $1,47,000 over the period of time. So, we welcome people to join our mission. So, our ultimate goal to reach out to more than 5 million people in the world, thereby predict the early stage symptoms and provide them the cognitive and the physical training through brain games, yoga, and support services and the teletherapy. Thereby reduce the prognosis.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Time is out.
145 to 50%. Here comes our product demo.
AI mobile app is a tool for assistive technology to help special people with what they need on daily basis. Legal rules to be followed country-wise as this is a medical initiative. 360-degree app is created by Team Grant to work on voice commands to limit the number of clicks. Once developed, this app can be easily downloaded in Google Play Store. User can create account for themselves or for family members. Homepage is designed with a thought process that predict, practice, and prevention can be done through a single app by just giving games options to the user, just like balloon tapping, speech test for Parkinson prediction, Alzheimer and dementia prediction, clock drawing test. Brain cell activation through memory game to enhance the mental health. We are also tracking the daily goals of the user to take medicine on time, and notification will be sent to user for doing routine activity on timely manner. Location tracking will be the another option or features we are going to provide. We are also tracking emotional quotient of the patients who share feelings or if they want to socialize with family members through call or chat. Idea is not enough. How the cash flow is going to be an important question in any business. So also in this app, we are going to help people to connect with doctors and experts.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry, team, but we're out of time. Sorry, we would take now the question of the judges, and you can show more your prototype. Okay? Thank you. So, judges, who would like to start with the questions? Dr. Ashraf, if you also have questions, please let us know in the chat. Mr. Patrick, you can start.
If I understood well, this is a set of applications to diagnose people with Alzheimer's disease.
Yes, sir. The Alzheimer dementia and also Parkinson's.
And how do you use artificial intelligence in that?
For Alzheimer dementia, it is mainly to deal with the nerve system. So in Alzheimer dementia, we have something called the speech test, which is mainly used to detect. We have something called the clock drawing test. So we will ask them to draw the particular clock. So this clock data set we have taken from Rehab. Rehab is a medical organization which has provided with this data set with 3,500 cohorts over here. So we pass on this clock into the clock diagram into the corresponding deep neural network model, which will automatically extract the features like where they have placed one, whether they have drawn the circle properly or not, where is the small line and the long legs go. So it will extract the feature, and based on the way the features are distorted, it will automatically calculate the score. So that score will detect whether the person is in which stage of Alzheimer dementia. So based on that, the corresponding recommendations, based on the recommendations from the doctors, the corresponding practices will be enabled for them.
Thank you, Dr. Pichwani. We can still take one question. Otherwise, we can stop because we're already over time. Anyone? Yes, Dr. Muhammad, go ahead.
Does your model include touch, the pressure on the touch screen? This is what you use as a feature?
Yes, sir. It also includes the pressure on the touch screen, the way they draw that particular shape.
Okay, how are you going to train your model, and what is the false positive rate currently?
Currently, the accuracy of our model has found to be 98%. According to the confusion matrix, the true positive rate score is high compared to that of the false positive and false negative rate. The model accuracy
Thank you.
Thank you, team. I'll leave a minute for the judges so they can grade. The other team is also joining on Zoom. Please get ready and share your screen so you can start. So team Mighty Minders. Oh, NeoVision, you changed your name. Okay.
No,
yes.
Hello everyone. NeoVision is the name of the device. Our
Okay. Okay,
name
great.
is yes, Mighty Minders.
So Joel, you're good. Once I tell you, you can start. We'll take 30 more seconds so the judges would be able to grade.
Sure.
Please, all the teams, stick to the 4 minutes, and we can go over time. Mighty Minders. So for the judges, sorry? Yes.
Do I start?
Yes, 1 minute. So as for the judges and Dr. Ashraf, the team now is called Mighty Minders, so you can pick it to grade them on the platform. Yes, Joel, the floor is yours. You can start.
Okay. Hello everyone. We are a team of 3 second-year electrical engineers. The sight-challenged people have always found difficulties going around their daily lives that normally sighted people don't have to. NeoVision is a palm-sized device that provides the technology that they deserve for a chance to navigate their surroundings, detect dangers, describe their environment, and even recognize their friends. Firstly, this device's camera helps its user navigate his or her environment, as it reads audibly signs, currencies, and any text it's scanning. In addition, the user can use NeoVision to find objects like keys by simply asking audibly, "Where are my keys?" And the device will compare the scan of the environment with similar images in the cloud with the help of built-in lookout. Google Maps will also be integrated in the device for easier navigation. NeoVision will also detect and notify the user of incoming dangers and obstacles that can't be detected with a stick or a phone app, like wet floors or stray animals. Usually, sight-challenged people may be present in confusing events or surrounded by different places. So NeoVision can describe for them what's happening. Lastly, it can detect faces of people, their expressions, and even their characteristics. It can also tell them if they have met this person before. So these tasks require communication with the device, and this communication will be done audibly. Our competitors are smartphones and smart sticks that are more common in assisting the visually impaired community, even though they need more maintenance. Well, our device is able to combine all these aspects with better and smarter assistance. Features on the phone that is made for normally sighted people will be available in NeoVision, especially for the sight-challenged community. So these are other features that are available in NeoVision. Of course, no screen is needed. Now, we plan to make our device accessible by everyone around the world, since it will be sold online, distributed to medical insurance companies, and to biomedical product stores. It will be sold for $499, and it will be included also either full price or in installments. But of course, if you have a medical insurance, you can buy it, or you can get it from your medical insurance company. We plan to collaborate with biomedical engineers, AI expertise, scientific labs, and even organization for the visually impaired, which is crucial for our business to grow and meet its consumers' needs. Now, about the prototype, which we built on a PC software, we chose Raspberry Pi 3 as a motherboard, since the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth will be built in. Ultrasonic, first of all, we have an ultrasonic tool, which will help measure the distances to obstacles or assist in going up and down the stairs. Then a GPS for easier navigation and movement from one place to another. Then a thermal camera to detect living organisms. Then a camera to detect and scan the surroundings and read signs. A microphone for detecting command and communication. And then a driver and 4 vibrating motors. They will help to communicate with the user and give or notify the user about their surroundings. A speaker is there also for communication, and push buttons to control and give commands for the device. A potentiometer is also for controlling and choosing different options. In conclusion, AI is used in object detection, face recognition, describing the surrounding, and communication with the user. The device is ethical. It will not store any information for anyone or pictures. Thank you.
Thank you, team. We can now take questions from the judges. And Dr. Ashraf, let us know also if you have questions. Anyone would like to start? Yes, go ahead, Mr. Patrick.
Hi, just one quick question. How do you carry this device? Because it wasn't very clear. It's in your palm or it's around your neck?
Yes, in the palm, like you're carrying a remote control or a controller. This small bracelet is for security, so in case the device falls, it doesn't have to break. This is the device, basically. It's held in the palm, and these cameras are in the front, so you scan the surroundings, read something.
So you're going to be constantly pointing it towards where you're scanning?
Yes.
That's the idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Dr. Ashraf, you have a question? Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. Could you please advise more on the software part of your solution?
Yes. William would like to answer.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean?
I mean, for example, what kind of library do you want to use in order to recognize objects?
For recognizing object, of course, we will use Google Cloud with we're reaching it from YOLO, you only look once, which is after further research is the most advanced way to detect objects.
Okay, so in this case, in your hardware, you need to add more SIM card module in order to connect.
Yes.
Yes, of course. This is only a primary prototype. Of course, you have to develop it.
Raspberry Pi is powerful enough to hold some simple application like WhatsApp. As for the final device, we need more advanced motherboard.
Exactly, because you need to take in consideration that, for example, using OpenCV libraries here, so you need more powerful processor unit. So I don't know if Raspberry will be enough for you.
Raspberry Pi can hold some simple application like WhatsApp and also Zoom. Of course, it's not the final design of the circuit. We need a more advanced motherboard.
Yeah. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
Will there be an additional cost on the user because it requires, software updates?
No, we don't plan to increase the cost, actually. We want to make it available for as much people who need it as possible. Like we might even donate it to organizations for blind people, or even give it to medical insurance companies. So some people who are in need, they don't have to pay so much to get it. They can even pay in installments. So increasing the price is not something we consider.
But it still requires regular updates in order to capture all these new features that will be added.
Yes, of course.
Yes. We might increase the price, but not to a point that it's not affordable or it's too much for the consumers.
Okay, so what's the main challenge now for having this product on the market? Other than
we need more experience. Yes, go ahead, William.
We should collect more data and make sure that it works properly.
We need even more expertise in AI and biomedical engineering. Since we're second-year electrical engineers, we have the concept, and we are looking forward to develop this device. Like, we have an idea where to go next, but we need more experience. We need more people who could guide us in this area.
All right.
Okay, thank you, team. We still have
just a quick question. Did the prototype, did they build this prototype and did they try it? Did it work?
No, it's only on a simulated PC. software, not as we couldn't even simulate it. We only made design.
Okay, thank you, team. We will take 1 minute for the judges to grade. And come AI, you can get ready. You're also joining online, so you can share your screen and make sure that everything is working. After this team, we will take a 5 to 8 minute break, and then we will continue.
Thank you.
So team Come AI, Hassan Jabir, you will be presenting. We can see your screen. You can test your...
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you. I'll let you know once you can start.
Hassan Jabir, sorry, we won't be able to join today with the respect also with Mohammed Ali Tabbara because of electricity cut. So I will be talking without him.
Okay, so thank you, Omar. I'll let you know once you can pitch. So just give us a couple of seconds. You can go full screen.
Yeah, no problem. Take it now. Okay, is it full screen now?
Not yet. Yeah. Come AI. So now, as for the judges, we are in Come AI team. Please, yes, go into presentation mode. If it's not working, don't worry, you can start. Okay, now it's working.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my team, Come AI, allow me to introduce you to LIA, which stands for Language Interpreter for Accessibility. LIA is one-of-a-kind software that enables and empowers people that use the sign language and ensures that they are included in society. According to the World Health Organization, there are an estimated of 360 million people worldwide with hearing disability. Additionally, did you know that there are 1 million deaf people who use American Sign Language as their primary language? 1 in 4 deaf people have quit the job due to discrimination. Imagine a 24-year-old Zein who is deaf, has to work to provide for his parents after the Beirut explosion. Zein has been used to depend on himself when he is outside his home. However, if he was one today, end up in a hospital and needs to communicate with a doctor, they would have to wait for the hospital's translator, if they have one, to arrive, connect with a toll-free service, or rely on a family member to present. If Zein survives until then, this would compromise his privacy or could worsen a health emergency. To facilitate smooth communication between the hearing impaired or deaf and the majority, automatic sign language recognition systems are the need for the hour. Recognition of sign language requires interpretation of multimodal data, facial expressions, body posture, hand pose, and hand movement. This makes real-time translation of sign language a tricky task. We want to translate sign language automatically using AI. To help with this translation, LIA is a deep learning-based system that can automatically interpret individual signs of the American Sign Language ASL. We are leveraging AI and computer vision that can recognize and translate sign language to be used in both businesses and education. We want to offer solutions that allow deaf and hard of hearing to communicate with other people spontaneously and effectively, anytime and anywhere. We want to offer LIA through specialized hardware screens or existing web app integration. In both cases, cameras are used to capture the core elements of sign language and leverage AI and computer vision to recognize and translate sign language automatically. The computer vision technology can recognize the hand shape and the movement of the signer, then it converts the input into a simple English phrase. To extend market reach, the global market of people with disabilities is over 1 billion people with a spending power of more than $6 trillion. Accessibility often improves the online experience for all users. As smart businesses integrate accessible design into their development processes, they understand the need for equal access by all people. The legal risks of ignoring accessibility are significant, and the benefits have also been demonstrated by leaders like Apple, IBM, Microsoft, and hundreds more. Business leaders and advocates who influence them can have tremendous social impact and a healthy return on investment as they follow a roadmap that leads to equal access. More than 1 billion people with disabilities in the world are eager to engage with you as customers, clients, employees, and equal participants in civic and social activities. By developing a long-term commitment to accessibility and implementing a strategy to bring that commitment to life, your business will reach this market and is likely to thrive in an unexpected and self-sustaining ways. Therefore, we want to offer our program as a SaaS, software as a solution for businesses to integrate into their products and services. Here's a demo.
So Omar, you're done?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Omar, for your presentation.
You're welcome.
As for the judges, you can ask questions. Who would like to start? And Dr. Ashraf, let us know in the chat. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Muhammad.
So, Omar, we've heard from other colleagues that for using the sign language, the American one, there are already some apps that exist. Have you done just a competitive market assessment, and where is your differentiation to the existing apps currently?
We are thinking about, like, in the future, like, by this application, we can, the person that's using it, or even in the hospitals, it can be customized, like, the words can, like, the most common words used can be also, like, be word as created, like, custom words by the people who are accessing it. And people are more likely to, مثلا, to communicate with other people, like we as people, like now, you know, communicate. Those common words are most likely to be used, you know, by themselves. So we will have some shortcuts to be used by those people. Also, مثلا, in the hospitals, or even, you know, other business that this product will be used in.
Okay, thank you. We have another question from Dr. Muhammad.
Okay, so you have a nice demo. So can you tell us more about what was challenging in technically speaking? What was the most challenging part? And how did you overcome these challenges?
Omar, can you hear us?
Yes, my colleague wanted to answer, but I think he has internet problems. Basically, what we had, our product is based on the data set that we were building. يعني we didn't get any online data set. It can be customized by the indexes. Every word has its own index in the data set. It was like really like a small struggle to train the model about it. But at the end, we knew like a small trick that it can be accessed by the developers, مثلا, the new business that will buy it in future يعني, in order to easily add new words or add new sentences, phrases that they want.
Okay, thank you, team. Thank you, Omar. I'll leave 1 minute for the judges to grade, and then we can take a 5-minute break and then continue with the 6 remaining teams. So please let us know if you need anything, the judges, and thank you everyone for joining us. So Omar, thank you.
Thank you.
So now it was ComAI team. Okay.
Test, test.
Test 1 2 3. عليها علشان تست هيدا الهاند 1. لا اعمل كليك على الهاند 1 بليز. تست.
So we can start in a minute.
ايه بس دقيقة. طيب لسه عم بسمع. هلا ما عم تسمع صوتها.
Hello.
طالع الصوت. صوت بلا انا مسكر الصوت عندي. مسكر الصوت زيرو. ليفل زيرو. بس دقيقة قبل هيدا بلوتوث. تيست 1 تيست 1 لا تيست 1 2 3 تيست بس اعطيني سمعني اياها كيف تيست 1 تيست خلص اخذتها مش الحال اخذت لاين اوت اوكي مش الحال عملت التيست هلا انت
مشي بعدني
خليه
Test, test.
Test 1 2 3. Yes. Test 1 2. Test. وطي الميكروفونات شوي. Test 1 2. وطي. Test 1 2. Test 1. Test 1 2. بعدك ماشي التست؟ هتوطي بس اتركها ما تضيعناش. تيست 1 2. بيعمل ساوند مش هي صح بس ارجع اعملها شو عملت هلا؟ ليه راح صوت هون؟ هيدا انت وطيته؟ اوكي يس تيست 1 2 تيست 1 2 تيست 1 تيست تيست 1 2 ما تغيرت بس تنعرف شو فيه تيست 1 2 مشي التيست على الزوم بليز تيست على الزوم ما بقى توقفها بس دقيقة تيست 1 2 يس يس تيست 1 2 هلا ليه ما عم تسمع صوتي؟ تيست 1 2 عم تسمعوا؟ تيست 1 2 تيست 1 2 هيدا كان ميكرو يا زلمه ما كنت عم تاخذ هاي انت تيست 1 2 اكيد ما هي طالعه تيست 1 2 تيست 1 2 Test 1, 2.
We are starting again in 1 minute. Thank you everyone for taking the break. It would be great if you can take your seat so we can start in a minute. The next team joining us is the Glance. And Nijad, you can join. So yes, Nijad, you can join. The team name is the Glance.
Okay, can we set the... There's a video inside for me.
Maybe Team Event Pro, are you ready now? Okay, so let's skip now Team The Glance and we can take Team Event Pro.
I'll fix that.
So we can take Team Event Pro now. Event Pro, correct.
Dear jury committee member, no, sorry بس مشان اكو في صوت اكو
في echo. Test.
Dear jury committee members, fellow colleagues, I'd like to introduce to you to Jad. Jad is a 12 years old teenager that communicates only through sign language. However, when Jad was attending a live event, he was surprised that the platform does not support a live text-to-sign language translation. And Jad resembles the case of at least 65 million primary and secondary students and at least 120 million adults. And checking the platforms already in market today, we noticed that all major platforms, when it comes to virtual events, lack major accessibility features. And the actions taken, we noticed that the WCAG just announced only a few days ago that they will be launching a new draft, the 3.0 draft, that holds major updates, especially in the form of virtual events. However, it's not expected to be launched, not before 2023. That's when the Eventpro team decided to act up and develop what we believe is a major breakthrough in the field of virtual events and digital inclusion. Eventpro supports all text-to-sign language live translation, auto-captioning, the inclusive design in order to make sure all people with cognitive disabilities can easily integrate with the virtual design that we have, and the virtual assistants. Eventpro is compatible with all live webinar systems such as Microsoft Teams, WebEx, and Zoom. Oh, nice. Nice. مش الحال? Yeah. Our project timeline, we're expecting to launch Eventpro into testing field by August 2021, followed by a companion mobile application to be launched into testing field by October 2021. Sorry. Our market size is estimated to be by $86.49 billion and is growing annually by 22%. Checking the competitors, Eventpro is the only accessible, compatible, and has the live in-event support and the mobile application, and our prices start by $5,000. Our team, Eventpro, is being operated under the name of the Telnet company, a highly trusted company by the top leading institutions in the Lebanese market. We have successfully operated more than 780 virtual events. Just the video of the demo. We already have developed a demo. However, it's not accessible, so we're still in the developing stages. So this is the user interface. Eventpro is formed of two main parts: the conference room. This is our main key factor, which is the fair area. You could literally host an exhibition that's totally accessible for all users. This is the admin interface. Eventpro is not only a live event system, it's also a management system.
Thank you, Ashraf and team. So, Dr. Ashraf on Zoom, can you let us know if you have questions? Because it seems that we had a technical problem. We can repeat from the, some part from the first presentation. Please let us know if you want us to repeat anything. Other than this, we can take questions from the judges now. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Al.
Okay, so the visitor to the Event Pro virtual event site will interact one-on-one with the counterpart.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
For example, it's a virtual event. You log in. Yeah. There's the virtual assistants all through the process.
We're in already.
Yeah, we're in already. Just like, what do you
So
mean?
what happens? How does it work? How does it afford the person with accessibility?
Yeah. The accessibility part is from the speaker's face. So I speak, there's the live captioning being generated and turned into an avatar that generates sign language.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And one-on-one? So this is for the plenary event, let's
Yes,
say.
this is for major events. So it's
Okay,
not like
for the, let's say, the main session.
Yeah.
But what about people interacting in the lobby?
Oh, Event Pro is supported all through the process. We're integrating them. The accessibility part is being integrated all through the process. Even in the fair area, we could have the accessibility features integrated.
Okay, so when the person visits an exhibitor's booth,
Yes.
they can interact
Yes.
with those accessibility features.
Yes, of course. The speaker, it's totally supported, even the sign language in the exhibit area.
All right.
But is this developed or not yet?
We're currently in the first development stages. The graphic design, it's developed. We already do have an idea about the whole process. However, the accessibility part is not yet integrated. We're in the currently development stages.
How much time do you think to develop? Because this is what has been presented by other solutions.
Yes.
Is how can you directly transform like whatever speech into signage through using AI?
Yeah, we're integrating it in the virtual design. So it's having this user experience in this virtual way and having the accessibility features. We're expecting to have it, our first draft by the first 2 weeks from the time we start working on it, and to go to testing field by the second 2 months.
Yeah, what is the innovation in your project? If I ask you, I mean, what is innovative in your project?
It's the virtual design and the accessibility. Other platforms do have the virtual design, do not support the fair area. We could have this meeting today hosted on Event Pro, and it's totally accessible. The innovation comes in developing the event platform that already in market, making them accessible, and through the fair area that we have developed.
Okay, thank you, judges, and thank you, team Event Pro, for the presentation. I'll leave 1 minute for the judges to grade. The team was Event Pro. Make sure that you take 1 minute to grade the team. We have next, we have Team Cortex. Please get ready, you're joining online. So Team Cortex, Nabil, let us know if you can hear us and if you can share your screen. Yes,
okay.
Great.
I'll share it now.
Yes, please share it and go into presentation mode.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll take 50 more seconds so the judges could grade. Okay, great. So Team Cortex, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, my name is Nabil, and today I would like to present Cortex, assess our executive functions through computer behavior and improve executive skills. So what's the problem at hand? In ADHD and autism, there's an intrinsic low self-awareness within the condition itself. And so the what-if questionnaires and the history judgment made by psychiatrists is oftentimes inaccurate. Some have no access to regular psychiatrists for continuous diagnosis and improvement methods for their lower than average executive functions. So what do? Cortex is a software that tracks 12-hour computer behavior and assesses executive functions. What are executive functions? It's response inhibition, working memory, emotional control, task initiation, sustained attention, planning, organization, time management, flexibility, metacognition, goal-directed persistence, and stress tolerance. It also measures ADHD symptoms, like the switch from task positive, concentrating to the imaginative and ruminating default mode network. It then customizes computer functions for better goal attainment and better executive functioning and lowering the symptoms of ADHD and autism. So how does it do that? We combine sophisticated calculations of combination of current AI technology, eye tracking, facial recognition, text recognition, speed changes, open software processes, and sophisticated combination of these because some executive functions require several inputs, and prediction and forecasting to compare the results with the forecasting. What are the future opportunities? We are paid for the productivity market for built-in business computers and private schools, and a free model for mental illness diagnosis for ADHD and autism. We also have easy-to-book sessions with executive function specialized psychologists within the app. We charge $4 for a test and $0.25 a month for everyday feedback and incorporating improvement in PC as a subscription fee. And we hope to break even in 1 year with 12,000 customers. Let's look at executive function 3, emotional control assessment. We tackle speed changes, text recognition, webcam face recognition, sharp attention, sustained facial expressions, common disgust or anger expressions like scouting, and monitoring body posture. We look at the open tasks, and we use machine learning to classify these changes at once and predict the score of the executive function. This is the demo on executive control. We use Azure Face API for the webcam detection and the facial expression and the emotion done. We built the data sets ourselves, so later on we have people that are with their executive function assessment validated with their awareness of it, and we find the connections there. Some APIs and data sets are online, and we combine existing models for this purpose. So how's it going to look like? You get to take the executive function test or statistics and recommendation if you're a logged in user. This is the interface of Lynn. She can see her executive function performance and see what worked and what didn't and how she can better cope as an automated coaching built-in her PC. She improved the most executive functions since last week, and she can book a psychiatrist if she needs any immediate specialized help. It improves, Cortex improves prefrontal cortex, so it creates customized computer freedom restrictions and in real-time recommendation to decrease ADHD and autism symptoms. For example, feeling stressed and prone to impulsive email responses, Cortex reports that in real time to you and recommends restricting access as a notification. We use social media like AI to benefit the user instead of the advertising company. We work for productivity, happiness, and active learning. For the concerns, we need to create protection mechanisms for privacy, regular quality testing for the medical use part, and the combination mechanisms are still at their infancy. We work for B2B for productivity as well as ADHD and autism. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Cortex. We will take now questions from the judges. So anyone has any question?
This is interesting, but this is a very difficult topic to tackle from a, like our understanding. So who would be the main, say, customers for this particular product?
So we're thinking B2B and B2C, so that we want to make it free for people with ADHD and autism to be independent in their skills, in their assessment, especially if they don't have access. So these are the main target. We have a specialized product for the businesses as a productivity market, and that one is paid because executive functions are for both. So those skill sets are being approached for both.
And how would you promote it? I mean, people with ADHD doesn't automatically recognize themselves as having this issue.
No, the lack of executive functioning skills is part of the ADHD. They have low self-awareness about them, so it makes it difficult to communicate with the psychiatrist and to incorporate feedback. We automate that, so it's computer-based, and it gives you active in real-time feedback of how you're performing your executive skills using the input we get from the computer behavior.
But it will be managed by a professional.
They know the issue. Sorry.
It will be managed by a professional that actually can make the right diagnosis eventually.
Yes, the diagnosis itself it's a big goal for us to be able to have the diagnosis, but they can have the diagnosis themselves, but the improvement part and the self-assessment part, instead of paying a weekly psychotherapy sessions, they can have it automated within their computer. That's the added value.
All right, so this is a long-term solution, not just identification sort of part process.
Yes, so it's a regular self-assessment. So it gives in real-time feedback every day. So it is in a sense long-term, meaning that they develop themselves long-term. But I don't understand really your question. How is it not? What do you mean by long-term?
Yeah, I know what you said. This requires practice and improvement and measurement along the way that the patient will undergo in order to, measure the success of this particular remedy.
Right, exactly. So it gives feedback. So it gives the feedback that people are not self-aware of. It gives them feedback, and they can sort of learn from that feedback how they can be better. Cortex also has an improvement part. So the recommendation and the notification are also part of to give them that self-awareness more, and recommendation. So it recommends restricting access to certain services, recommends restricted time access for the computer, etc., depending on their lacks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cortex team. Any other questions from the judges? Otherwise, we can switch to the other team. Yes, go, Dr. Hamad.
Can you elaborate more about the AI engine? What's the AI model? What are the features? What is the data?
I think I should be answering that, Nabi, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Thank you. So for the AI, we have actually used, so we didn't really train models ourselves. So we have actually taken advantage of Azure Face API. It's a free cognitive service that they provide for students, I believe. Like they have a limited amount of calls that we can do a minute, but for the sake of the demo, it was enough to like detect emotion and stuff. And we're planning to build upon that to reach our goal, which is, generally assessing patients with ADHD and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right. So like my friend said, it's the combination of those sort of detections. So it's not just the facial, in the demo, it's only the facial expression for emotional control. But for emotional control, there's other detections that should be made, like the cursor movement, the window, the active windows, when and how. These complex connections that we need to make, we need to build our data sets to find those connections using machine learning.
Yeah, okay. I have a remark about using the cloud and other applications also that were presented. They use the cloud. There is an impact on the privacy of the user data there, right? Have you studied this? Like when you're using a cloud service, you're sending the user data to the cloud. What are the privacy and security issues in there?
To be honest, we didn't really look into that, but I feel like it's worth studying, like you said. Honestly, like we don't really have much of an idea about how the user's privacy is compromised by using the cloud at this point.
All right.
Okay, thank you, judges and Team Cortex for the presentation. Now we can take a minute so the judges could grade. And Team The Glance, you can take the floor and start. Sorry, Dr. Ashraf, you can ask your question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. Just one quick question here. Are you presenting a prototype or a final product already on the market?
In the market already?
So here it was not developed during the hackathon.
You mean the prototype that we just saw, the demo?
Yeah, yeah.
No, we did. Could you say, Dea?
Yeah, exactly. We actually developed it last night. So it was developed during the hackathon.
Yeah, this is because I was confused. So I want to see what was developed during the hackathon to be aligned with the other teams.
Yeah. So from the demo that we just showed, the facial recognition thing that tells you what kind of emotions you're having right now. So it was developed last night, and we uploaded the code to a GitHub repository on the internet. It's public, and I don't know if that answers your question. I'm not sure.
Here, and the Cortex product that you showcased, which is the website and the platform and the analytics, this was done during the hackathon, or it was already existing before?
Oh, it was developed during the hackathon. Go ahead, Nabil, and you can tell me.
Yeah, so the visualization of the final product was developed for the hackathon. The demo is only part of the overall solution. Again, the facial expressions are only part of what assesses the executive function of emotional control. So we need variable inputs to really assess that. We showed facial expression as one demo, but Cortex, and it's a software. So the software itself is the bigger vision that we need to create many input mechanisms to create that whole assessment that you saw in the visual.
Okay, thank you, it's clear, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, team, and thank you, Dr. Ashraf, for your question. We will take 30 more seconds so the judges could grade and the next team could start. The next team is the glands. So as for the reference of the judges, the next team is the glands.
Okay, can we get this in full screen? It works. Okay. Hello. Today we will talk about Tom. Tom lost his hand in a work accident, but he got a prosthetic and his life went back to normal. That is the story we like to hear when we talk about prosthetics. But are we there yet? Well, no. We're almost there. A lot of progress has happened over the last 50 years, but there's still a lot of grounds to cover. Tom can't do much in terms of housework or hygiene. Training time for his prosthetic is too long, and he needs to press knobs and buttons on it to make it work. So we, a team of engineers at AUB, developed the Hand of Venus, which is a prosthetic hand with autonomous capabilities. Why is this prosthetic autonomous? Well, it knows exactly how much force to apply on an object without dropping it or crushing it. It requires minimal user control, but most importantly, it can determine based on the shape of the object which grasp to use for it. So it knows that a bottle of water requires a cylindrical grasp, while an egg requires a tripod grasp. Basically, Tom's life is now easier. He can grab many objects without a lot of effort. He can take care of his hygiene, cook, and clean easily. No other prosthetic on the market can do this. And basically, our other market segments include people with quadriplegia who have robotic arms attached to their wheelchairs, as well as companies that use robotic manipulators or are moving from standard grippers to human-like robot hands. So some technical details: to estimate the force, we use data from many sensors, including torque sensors and force sensors. We pass it through a support vector machine regression model, and then we get the weight and the stiffness of the object. For the control, the user only has to say start the system or stop the system. The hand will only grasp an object if it's in between the fingers, and we use muscular signals from the user. As for the grasp detection, we take a 3D image of the object, pass it through a convoluted neural network, which determines its shape, and then we have a grasp. We only need one image, and that image is directly deleted after the grasp is detected. So the prosthetics market is about $6.3 billion in 2021. But can amputees actually buy prosthetics? Some of them can, some of them can't. Most of them are war survivors, most of them have lost their jobs. And the people with quadriplegia aren't doing any better. The market segment that will generate revenue for us are, as stated before, the robotic manipulators who are moving from grippers to human-like robot hands. Why will they buy the system? Well, they're also moving into new industries like home automation, custom manufacturing, custom kitchens, medical field, which require the presence of a human-like hand, and our system would do very well in that setting. And then those companies will become our partners. They can do CSR, and others who would like to donate to our wait list, which will have people who need prosthetics but can't afford them. And the path forward is we basically develop the software, we sell it as a service to the manipulator companies, then we gain the revenue to generate the hardware, which is the actual prosthetic. We gain approval from the FDA and the CE and other organizations, and then we distribute the prosthetic. This is a physical model of it. Can we look at the video? So this is the camera we would use. It's basically a 3D depth camera. this was our first prototype that we built. This is where the camera goes. Okay, so this is a 3D model of our prototype, if you can see. And it moves also in software as well. So this is our system looking at a cup. We run the system, the image has been taken, we detect a cylindrical grasp for the cup, and then we would move into execution of the cylindrical grasp. The hand would get into position, it would approach the object. Once the object is in place, we would execute the grasp. Again, for a pen, which is basically all the same, goes over again, and we get a pinch grasp for a pen. That message is transferred to the arm, which also executes. Other grasps include tripod and also tripod. Oh. And extension grasp. So thank you. Whoops.
Thank you, Team The Glance. So we can take questions now from the judges.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead, Mr. Patrick.
I didn't understand quite well. Is this wearable or
Yes.
it's
If
wearable?
you have an amputation, you would wear it over here. There are wearable prosthetics on the market, but they do not include cameras. They're just robots without any cameras.
The detection of the pressure, on which basis do you use it? Like if it's a cup or a glass, you know?
Okay, so there are force sensors on the fingertips and torque sensors, as well as in the palm area. If the object is soft, the graph would be very slow to go up. Then we can relate the stiffness of the object to the slope of that graph, and you would know that the object is soft, bendable, breakable, so we would go for a lower force level. If the graph increases very quickly, we know that the slope is very high and that it's a hard object. And then we can have a higher force level for it.
Yeah. How does the graph work? Is it predefined?
No, we measure it as we start the grasp. Take 6 measurements, 7 measurements, we would have the grasp.
So when you're grasping,
yes,
if the object is bending, you know that it's soft.
Yeah.
And you stop immediately.
Yeah, and if it's hard, we would put enough force on it to carry it.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for your question. Dr. Ashraf, you can ask your question. Go ahead. You're muted, Dr. Ashraf. Yes.
Yes. No, for this innovate, I don't have any questions here.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead, Dr. Muhammad.
What was the regression model about?
So the regression model was for measuring the force. We would take data from the sensor directly, raw data, convert it into newtons, and then we would use support vector machine regression on it, figure out the slope, relate the slope to stiffness, and then the stiffness would let us know if we need to put too much force or too little force or somewhere in between.
So the features there are the stiffness.
And there's also the weight, which would be determined after you grab the object and carry it. That would be in a later stage.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, team. Yeah. You have a follow-up? Thank you, team, for your presentation. We can take now 1 minute to grade the team. And as for the next team, we have MLTK. Kiana, you can join live the stage to present. Oh, Kiana is joining online. So Kiana, yes, you can share your screen.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Please go into presentation mode. And let's give a couple of seconds, more seconds for the judges to make sure they graded the team. After MLTK, we still have 2 teams. So get ready online to share your screen after MLTK team. Okay, we'll take 10 more seconds and we can start. Kiana, the floor is yours. You can start now.
Good evening. Can you imagine having to be trapped inside your body every minute of every single day? That you have so much to say, but you hardly even can? This is Wasim, and this is his every minute struggle with ALS. This little kid started as a heavy speaker. Then as the case advanced, he lost his ability to speak. Wasim now doesn't have the privilege of telling his story the way I could. Instead, he uses this speech generation device, in which he could click on icons to produce the desired utterance. About 27 million people suffer from disabilities in the MENA region only, and like Wasim, almost 1.5 million of them have speech impairment. If they can afford it, $5,000 is the average price they must pay to buy an SGD. Knowing this, we must ask, are SGDs really the solution? Well, not exactly. As mentioned, SGDs are very expensive. And as demonstrated in this video, users take so much time to look for an icon to convey even a simple need. And we can certainly imagine how slow-paced such conversations would be, and even more frustrating. This is where we come in. Our proposed solution offers a smart user interface by using an app that can recommend icons to pop up on screen based on the context and conversation. And for more accessibility, we plan to provide a SaaS that can transform non-standard speech into standard one. This can be used as an input to any other systems that are input like voice. This all, of course, supports the Arabic language. What differs our solution from other solutions in the market is that we offer better user experience, we're a lot cheaper in cost, and we provide the ability of integrations with other systems. With Zein, let's see it in action.
In classic SGD, the main feature is finding an icon, pressing on it to generate a voice, something like that.
Cookie.
In our solution, we are trying to extract the intent using machine learning algorithms from the conversation happening with the user in order to recommend icons that may help him. Let's try some use cases. Do you want to play?
Yes.
What do you want to play?
Chess.
What do you want to eat?
Hamburger.
As you can see, the app generated the appropriate icon for the conversation's context. In classic SGD, the main feature.
Now that we know how everything works, where will our revenue come from? It will come from two main sources: in-app purchase for more advanced features and subscription plans for the SaaS. Our roadmap consists of 4 phases. Phase 1, where we release the beta version of the app for users to try. 2, progress onto the stable version. Phase 3 is where we introduce the SaaS and adapt it with our app. And finally 4, release the SaaS solution. We are MLTK. My name is Kinana. I'll be working with as AI engineers to help develop the core AI. Malaz will be responsible for developing the software on top of that, and Tariq will handle the business development. Help us help the speech impairment community, because after all, don't we all just want to be heard? Thank you.
Thank you, Team MLTK. We now take questions from the judges. Yes, Mr. Ali, you can start.
Yeah, you mentioned that the cost is prohibitive for those particular solutions. What device will your solution be using in this
Any
case?
smart device, mobile, iPad. This is a mobile application. You can install it wherever you'd like. You can even have it on as a web page.
These devices are built specifically for people with certain disabilities. Mobile devices might not be suitable because they are not designed for these particular usage.
Yes, usually the case is that people like that can at least use their fingers, which is enough because we only have a click button for the voice, and that's it. The user can click basically. For even if you want to go more advanced, you could look into things like gaze and where the user is looking, but this is too advanced, and usually users who use SGDs use their fingertips, and this is the same.
So you're customizing your solution to be adoptable on multiple devices in this case, depending on the situation of the patient. All right.
Okay. Thank you, team. Any other question? Dr. Ashraf, you have a question?
Yes, one question. Here, what makes your product innovative than existing AAC devices?
SGD devices are very large devices, and they are not very easy to use, as we've shown. They are not practical. As you saw in the video, the kit took a very long time to convey us. We try to make things easier by recommending, and of course, if we want to talk about the SAS in the case where the person still can talk, but his speech is heavy, we can provide the SAS that could translate the non-standard speech to standard speech, so this person can be able to use any voice assistant.
Okay, here, according to state of the art, how can you say that existing solutions are not accurate or not useful for persons with disability? Especially if we can see that the number of users is very big.
Exactly. I can here add something. We're trying to adapt here the solution that SGD device is so much expensive. Yes, true, they are depending on so many input tools like eye tracking or face recognition or some kind of input like finger or something like input from the user. But the SGD device as a software they don't have a very user experience. They are not updated frequency. They need to learn it, especially for the small kids ages.
They don't even have AI, so there's no state of the art here.
Exactly. So if you have a conversation, a normal conversation with someone who has a disability with a speech problem, you need to learn the words connect code. So actually, we need to make the recommendation. We need to make the communication more speed. And when we adapting with SGD, so if you have the user has already SGD available in its hand, we can simply integrate their system directly with them. So we work on SaaS as a main core business model for us because we built this recommendation system, we built this kind of input and reprocessing all together. But as a starting point, we want to develop a mobile app so we can learn more about our user, what they are looking forward, what the real problem. And the end, we are.
Sorry, team, for interrupting. So time is up. Would you like to wrap it up, or
yeah? Just one more clarification and very brief. Here, what you are talking now, you are not targeting the end user, which is the person with communication impairment, instead of targeting parents and therapists.
We're targeting both.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're targeting the actual user by using the SaaS, and we're targeting the people around him with the mobile app. They can both be integrated together, and as you saw in the plan, we plan on integrating that to be a full solution for someone with ALS.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, team, and thank you, judges, for the questions. We can now take a few seconds to grade. And Wheelie Wheel team is next, so get ready. We have Karen and Yusuf. You can join the floor. You have one mic. You have one mic.
Can we use the microphone of the judges?
No.
We can't. Next, previous.
Yes.
No, we will not be able to use the mics. The judges.
You have one mic. Can't steal their mics. No. بس هي هون تبدلوا حسب Okay, thank you, judges, for grading. Now we have Wheelie Wheel team. So Wheelie Wheel team, you can start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Our story started when I asked Michael Haddad, Gabrielle, and many other people with special needs about the question, and the first question that they asked themselves before going out. And the answer was, and unfortunately, is this place accessible to us? And here, Wheelie Wheel came to respond to this need. Wheelie Wheel is here under 3 objectives. First, to create a smooth go-out process for people with special needs. 2, fight data deserts when it comes to accessibility. And 3, in order to incentivize business leaders and managers to implement and design their products and places under accessibility standards.
And now, our solution is an application that will let you first to sign up, then it will show you the ratings of public places on a map, all the way from anti-wheelie to super wheelie. Super wheelie are the places that give all means of accessibility for people on a wheelchair, whereas anti-wheelie are places that give no accessibility to people on a wheelchair. And now, when we click on a place on the map, we can click on it and see its rating. For example, this one is wheelie. And when we click on it, we can see the accessibility features it has, such as, does it have a ramp? Does it have a wide entrance? Does it have good restrooms for people with special needs? And similar public places such as cinemas, theaters, also events. And how this process is going to be. As a first step, we have volunteers who are going to take physical photos on that public place, and they will fill that form where they will be asked to upload a photo and then tag that photo according to the accessibility features it has. Then, our unique thing in our app is the gamification part. Volunteers are going to collect points when rating public places. They will later redeem those points to special offers and gifts. And what's even better in our app, that we have these leaderboards that compares volunteers. So this will motivate more volunteers to actually go rate more public places and then collect more rewards. And this will also incentivize business owners and managers to compete against each other to have the Super Wheelie certificate. And now comes the AI model. Remember the photos I talked about? These photos serve as data for our deep learning model. So later on, we will not need volunteers to help us rate a public place. But this process will be automated using computer vision and object detection. What's unique in our classification is that it's dynamic and it's not static. So what might be super wheelie today may become wheelie tomorrow, according to the accessibility technologies and advancements.
Now, for sure, you're wondering how we're gonna bring this to life. We have many revenue streams. For example, the transaction enabler and targeted ads for the shops and places that are targeting this niche market that we have, since we are the ecosystem for people with disabilities. We will also be selling our data for NGOs and governments that are willing to implement effective plans on ground, and the service fees that we're gonna get by consulting public places and areas in order to make their place more accessible by connecting them to architects and specialized people. Now for the partnerships, we already talked to Michael Haddad from the UNDP, and he might be able to get us funds and partner with UN. And we are thinking about pro-ables, event planners, construction companies. Microsoft has taken a step as well in fighting data desert, and as well as Google Maps, governments, and political leaders. Sure, we are not the first to target this problem. There are people who already targeted this problem abroad. However, they will have to deal with obsolete data because their system is not dynamic as ours, and they don't use the same AI that we use. Now, we are unique because we use gamification and crowdsourcing, as we have people on ground from volunteers. Also, the dynamic ranking system, the customized or catered maps, which allows us actually to expand to a bigger market. We're going to start with people with wheelchairs. However, we are going to expand to include more types of disabilities, because what's super wheelie to a blind person is different than what is super wheelie for a person who cannot move, as well as our automated process and our ecosystem that we are gonna have.
I wish what? Wheel.
Wheel?
Wheelie wheel.
Okay. Thank you, team. So we can take questions from the judges. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Muhammad.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I like the idea. I believe it's not only restaurant that should be categorized, even apartments, building, any type of need for access. The only thing that I would like you to explain a bit more, how are you going to use the AI part? Because you said, yeah, it's ramp, but it still needs physical person going there to be able to detect. So how are you going to use AI in your explanation?
Okay. So currently, we are collecting data from Google Maps. We have current data in Google Maps. And then the current photos we have that volunteers are collecting, they are going to help us grow our data set. And the larger the data set, the more accurate our model will be. So later on, this process will be automated because for each public place, we have photos such as from CCTV cameras and for the entrance and for the seats and sides, as well as for the restrooms. For the restrooms, it's going to be using volunteers also. For example, they need to scan the restrooms because there are no CCTV cameras in the restrooms. So our process is automated for all public places everywhere except restrooms because there are no CCTV cameras in the restrooms.
Yeah, and even if it's not like 100% automated, what we're gonna do is that the forms that the volunteers on ground are gonna fill, they're gonna help us, like they're gonna label the مثلا width and height of the ramp, let's say, it's one of the parameters. They're gonna help us with that, and then the machine learning part is gonna like learn. So we need less effort by only scanning the area, which is very minimal, instead of also filling forms. So at first we're gonna start it's okay, let's start by filling forms and scanning the area, but later on it's gonna be like fully, let's scan the area, and then it's gonna be like more accurate. And also the users can be submitting complaints. For example, if they went to a place and then they were upset, they can submit a complaint where volunteers can come again and validate the area again. So yeah, that's the main.
Thank you, team, for your question. Yes, we have a question from Mr.
As
Ali,
we
then
grow
Dr.
older,
Ashraf.
myself included, we appreciate efforts to make things more accessible. So I really like your project, but I think there are certain, it's a long journey with trade associations who might not look favorably at this particular rating. You might have some challenges with different ministries for who's the authorized, let's say, government department in charge of setting the standards for accessibility. It can go from the Ministry of Social Affairs to the Ministry of Health to the what's it called, the civic the design and the what's called the syndicate of engineers. All of these might be involved in this decision-making process in order to make it, I would say, certifiable or to be able to give this particular badge. So yes, like it is a nice project, but the challenges are enormous. Like having dealt with some of these organizations, can tell you it's not an easy trajectory. So my word of encouragement, you think for the long term, all right? Yeah. And congratulations on having this idea.
Can I just comment? Okay. Thank you so much. I just want to say that we really want to put the user at the center of everything, and we really want to know what's accessible to the people and then weigh the parameters accordingly. Maybe we're gonna have I understand your point, and I think it's really valid, and we have to take it into consideration. Maybe also in terms of collaborating with the associations that you have mentioned. Yeah, so that's my comment.
Thank you, team. Dr. Ashraf, you had a comment. You can go ahead and mention it.
Yes, here I would like to thank you, the team, and to appreciate one point that the idea was started from the need of person with disability, and this is what we are always looking for during the hackathon. So this is the right way on how we can start developing an idea, and here I want to appreciate this point. Thank you, team.
I'd like to mention one small thing. The AI part, our future plans is to actually not only rate a place according to the photos we have, but actually find patterns on the map and according to certain parameters, try to predict whether this place is accessible or not, and its rating also. And volunteers are gonna also help us validate this place as well as our automation system.
Sorry, we're out of time. Mr. Patrick, you want to add anything?
One quick question. What are the constraints for having this solution for other different kind of accessibilities? Like, why did you choose only for wheelchairs? It could have been easily implemented for accessible locations where blind people can easily move around the place. Like they have to have braille notations, places on the floor, tactile floors, so that they can walk around freely. What were the constraints to specifically to have it only for wheelchairs? I mean.
Please, really quick answer. Okay, we are really open to all types of disabilities, but first we had to start small. Having Gabrielle and Michael like supporting to this idea, they had the problem of the wheelchair. It happened like that, and mostly because blind people and they are finding a way around somehow in using like different technologies. However, for wheelchairs, it's really difficult, and honestly, by empathizing with this certain persona, we honestly decided that we had to start here, because like Gabrielle, for example, was explaining her situation where her mom had to hold her all the way to the cinema on all the stairs and other بس أكيد we are open to starting with a different type of disability after doing maybe more research at this point. Thank you so much, team, and thank you for the judges. So we're out of time. If you want to add any comment, please, you can contact the team. Okay, so thank you, team. There was only one slide. It's okay. Thank you, everyone. So we have the last team. So we have a reach up team. Hisham, you can take the floor and start your presentation. So after this presentation, the judges will be invited to the room to discuss the results, and we will take around 10 to 15 minutes to finalize the results, and then we will share them after 15 minutes. Please do take the floor. Thank you so much. So here is the mic. Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm presenting the Reach Up program. My name is Hisham Ramadan. I am an engineer. My partner and colleague is Mira Khalid. She's a teacher and curriculum developer. The problem we are addressing is the education for the children having Down syndrome and equipping them with the skill set needed to develop in their job careers. The solution is that Reach Up is an accessible online program with interactive classes powered with adaptive learning and AI support. As such, the setup will be that we are providing children with Down syndrome with complete comprehensive educational program to allow them to bring their skill set to the maximum to become productive, self-sustainable children or citizens within the community. We are having 3 components in our program. Firstly is the online courses, second, the creative box, and the third is the adaptive learning with the AI component. First, I start with the online courses. It's currently ongoing. We are offering 5 courses, including variety of topics such as sports, crafts, and communication skills. For example, this is the craft course ongoing with the students. Another example is the math course teaching children how to handle money and everyday accounting needs. And an example of a popular course is a cooking course where students can promote their food and cooking at home. The second component within the program is the creative box. We are delivering a physical box to the house of each student every month. The box contains curriculum material related to the courses ongoing, such as worksheet, exercises, arts material, And even we are providing physical education material. This hand grip here on the side was included in the last box. It includes to train their hands and the physical muscles of the hands because our students have a problem with dexterity. The third component is the adaptive learning. It is used to optimize the curriculum to create individual path for each student. Accordingly, the AI will minimize the weak point of the student, each student, and increase the strength point. In brief, the AI will use a customizable path for each student to optimize his skill set and prepare him for the future job market. Our competitors, in our case, we consider them as partners. They include clinics, NGOs, medical centers. Our advantage is that we are offering a 3-component comprehensive educational platform. The business model is based on enrollment tuition for the students, subscription fees for local or regional students. The creative box can be used to promote items from specific suppliers. Also, we can source some subsidized material from local manufacturers or local artisanals. The AI data will be used to optimize our online courses, and we will always curate it to improve our curriculum. Finally, social media will be used to promote our work. We will partner with some institution, and the platform for adaptive learning will be gamified with interactive activity to make it more appealing for the students, and we will see an example in the video now coming up. This is the video profile of the student.
Here's a product demo of how our adaptive learning online program would be. Entering the profile would enter the dashboard of Luna's learning path with the courses in progress as well as learning points throughout the months with stories. And let's skip into her profile. We would have to see Luna's progress in each of the courses, achievements and medals, as well as courses completed and courses in progress. If you want to enter the class in itself, for example, My Beautiful Language, learning English and general language, we'd see where she stopped according to the generated and personalized curriculum generated for her. In the topics of vehicles, it would focus on interactive and object recognition in order to support the generation of future curriculums, as well as speech recognition that helps in the pronunciation. Of course, students can easily exit and go back to the profile page.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, team. Judges, who would like to start with the questions? Yes, go ahead, Mr. Muhammad.
Interesting presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad.
A couple of questions. Currently, the pricing for this model, one, is how much do you charge? Second is, since it's online, how many you show students, how many are enrolled already? Is this developed during the hackathon, or it's already launched, and since when is it launched? And third, is it only in Lebanon for the boxes, or you go cover the region? Fourth, you've mentioned the competitors, but you've mentioned local. Are there any online competitors currently that provide for such disabilities learning paths?
Thank you for all these questions. I think they are comprehensive. We started prior to the hackathon. We started 3 months ago. In fact, we partnered with an NGO named Next Step, and they were having problem with the children sitting at home. We told them with a group of teachers that we will support you with the curriculum and the education platform. So we started 3 months ago. We started as MVP and as early bird cost, very minimal. If I mention it, it's very minimal, barely covering the costs, not even the cost of the platform. It is subsidized by others. But it is ongoing now with more than 10 students. We have 12 students enrolled, and we are delivering every month these material to their homes. In fact, the box included all of these devices, we didn't mention it to the parents before. Now they are telling us, please don't stop. Our children have been sitting at home for 1 year doing nothing. Now they are having something to look up to. They are logging up 1 hour before when we start the courses, and they are saying even want to stay further. The material is very exciting for them, and they are always looking forward as if there are gifts coming after at the start of the next month. So to answer the questions, we are starting now with the minimum value. We are taking less than 300,000 lira per month. It's subsidized. Definitely, we will, after we finish, we told them that we will finish and evaluate our work by end of the summer. Afterwards, we will launch maybe for the region. We are working on a platform for online payments. We are now collecting the money through the driver with receipts. And we are mentioning that, yes, the creative box can be delivered outside. So the box, we can make a small room or space. Some of the material is printed. We can send it as PDF and to be printed there. Other physical material can be delivered early, prior 2 months or 3 months ahead of time, or sourced from local market. A simple example of material delivered that was very popular, the chef hat. This hat was simply delivered to the children. It cost nothing, and they were so happy receiving it, and it made a big difference. And this is available in all the markets. So we just need to provide the curriculum, the sheets abroad for the region, and deliver it to them. Other than this, we might evaluate our program end of this summer, early September, and then start evaluating the exact fees. Another partner is potential example of partnering. In fact, we were reached by several institutions or NGOs, and they told us, could you get the sourcing of material, for example, the ingredients for the cooking from some local produce in the region, and we pay for them. You just take it and deliver it to the students. So it is win-win for everybody. This was an example. And also for the artworks, also it will be sourced maybe from local artisanals and then delivered to the students who can continue on the work on this. So this is in brief what's going on.
Yes, we can
My
take
question
one
was going to be related to the delivery of the box, why it's physical box, but I think you already have explained it quite eloquently, that the kids themselves are, have become, would expect this box as sort of a gift or sort of a incentive for them to be able to participate in this particular exercise. So thank you for explaining.
Very true.
Thank you.
It is like even simple papers are becoming very happy with when they receive it, and they are working online with the teachers about it. Mira is the curriculum developer. Please, Mira.
Okay, in terms of integrating the creative box with the AI, through the AI, after collecting the data, actually optimizing it properly, understanding their strengths and weaknesses, we can then increase our personalization of the box itself. So if I understand this student really has good sports skills, then I can then increase that in order to help him with the long learning path of actually attaining a job out there in the market. So that's another thing with the creative box. So far, we're doing kind of a crowdsourcing technique where we're sending them materials, we're looking what's their strengths, what their weaknesses. So that's one point also with the creative box, how we can improve it thanks to AI.
Allow me to show one picture which was added later. These are our students. And after 2 months of physical training, historically, they have problem in their muscles, all of these students. So after 2 months of physical sports training with their teacher, her name is Mona, they improved drastically. And their parents said that they are really much better shape. So we started working, as Mira mentioned, sending them material for the sports. For example, they have problem in their dexterity of their hands, special material for their hands to improve the muscles. This way they can draw better, write better, and this will improve their work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, team, so much. Thank you, judges. You can now finalize the grading, and you will be invited to the room to discuss the final grades and to discuss the winners. Thank you so much for joining. Now we will have a 15-minute break, and you can wait, take some pictures, and of course tag us on iPark social media platforms. So we'll take the break. And And now we will go to this room, and Dr. Ashraf, you will be invited into a breakout room to also join us. Thank you so much.
هون هيدا اللوجو تعالي. اللوجو تعالي. انا بعت على الجروب. ولا مش هالقد ايه.
ميرا طب وحده لحالي وحده مع ميرا البوديوم تفضلي هيك نعمل حالنا عم نشتغل ثانك يو هيك نصور ميرا لحالي
If you insist, Hisham. Okay, do you want to? Is it showing or do you want to go? Okay. Hello. Should I use my beatboxing skills? You want my phone? Yeah, your turn.
A grand gesture. More poses. تمام أخذت؟ Thank you very much. تفضل.
لا لا بالعرض مع هيدا. خلاص هيك طب مثل ما
تعمل هيك.
نعمل هيك وهيك، نعمل وحده هيك يعني كذا وحده. هلا بعمل وحده برزنتيشن ستايل.
اوكي.
يلا وقفي على البوديوم.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
مش حالة. يلا صورة ورجعت صورة لحالي وصورة هيك مع مين.
بعدها موجودة هون interesting.
هلا حط لنا اياها.
كنت ماركت. اسرع عليك. عذبناك، لازم انت تاخذ صور طلع. It's not fair. ايه
هنصور معك بس طبعا تحكي.
So, hello everyone, we are back. If you would like to take your seats so that we announce the winners. So I have to say it was a very, very tough decision to make. And grades were so close, but we had to resort to the grades because everybody was so close. So please, those who do not win among the top 4, please know that you were very, very close and you can pursue your product further. So our top winners each will win $2,500 plus the possibility to be incubated at the AUB Innovation Park. The first name is, and there's no order in the 4 winners, they are equally winning. We have 2 winners for the physical aid track, which are Willy Wheel and the Glens. For the assistive technology track, we have Reach Up and a Shirley. Well, it's not over yet. There's a second phase, and there are other ideas that qualify for it because, again, I said the grades were so close. So the next phase is competing for the $10,000 offered by the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. And I would like to thank for that Dean Sheikh and Dr. Wasim Al-Haj, who was working with us throughout the hackathon management. So besides Willy Wheel, the Glens, Reach Up, and Shirley, also Cortex, Canary AI, and Mighty Minders, they qualify to compete for the $10,000. I would like to congratulate everyone, and I would like to ask Dr. Asfour, Mr. Rabah, and Mr. Harake to step to the stage to hand over the checks. So, okay. So, Willy Wheel, why don't you step to the stage and take your check? Okay.
Can you remove the masks?
شوفي.
Mask?
Ignore the first, second, third.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
It's all the same, exactly.
بس مين رح يشوفها بالصورة؟ مش الحال.
The first prize for everyone. مين معك first?
First معي.
The fourth.
وين عم بتشوف؟ وأنا ما عم بشوف.
ماشي الحال هون.
The Glens. The Glens. Reach Up. الشرلي الشرلي. So thank you for everyone for participating with us and being with us. For online participants, yes, online participants, can you please open your cams so that we can have a picture with you? Okay. And how about everyone? Why don't you come to this side, to the stage, so that we could have a group picture? Barra? Outdoors? Yeah. Give us a smile. Cheese. So everyone stay tuned for the next phase with the $10,000.
Thank you everyone for joining from YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Bye.